All right, we are going to go over my drum setup as it is right now. I just changed the drum heads, but I figure I would show everybody, if they care, what my drum set looks like right now. I'm using the PDP Concept Classic Maple with the wood hoops. Oxblood finish, probably my favorite finish of all the ones that they came out with. I was lucky enough to grab one whenever they first came in. Let's see here. So my kit is 24-inch bass drum, 13-inch rack tom, 16-inch floor tom, 18-inch floor tom. The floor toms are all 16 inches deep, the rack tom is 9 inches deep, and the kick drum is 14 inches deep. All that classic stuff. So, the snare drum is a 6.5 by 14 Black Beauty. And then moving on to my cymbals, I've got 15-inch New Beat hi-hats, 20-inch K-Custom Dark Crash, 10-inch FX Stacker, 24-inch K Light Ride, gotta back up the camera just so you can see the whole thing. And then, of course, the 19-inch Dark Crash K Fin. I use the Yamaha E8010 to record everything. It's just easy. I'm not an audio genius. I don't have, a lot of skills in that. I don't really know my way around a miking setup or a mixing board very well. So I just kind of run it through that, tweak it a little bit, and that's what you hear if you ever watch my videos. Hardware is all DW. I've got the 9000 series snare stand and 9000 series hi-hat stand, the three-legged version. I like it stable. I don't like the two-legged ones. There's a video, if you go back on my YouTube and watch. It's a full gig, and you can see every time I start keeping time with the hi-hat just starts wobbling, and it was really annoying and kind of messes with my clock a little bit. So I just went back to using a three-legged stand. Since I play single pedal, it's not really, not really. Even if I throw a double pedal on there, I'll throw it just under the leg. The cymbals stands are the 6000 series single braced. There's a little bit of a thing going on here where I've actually got the boom, a hi-hat attachment boomed out here, and then a little clampy piece there to do the to get the cymbal up there. So there's one stand for those two cymbals. I am playing with fate, I realize, but sometimes you want that lightweight hardware when you're carrying it to and from. My pedal is a DW5000 Turbo, not an accelerator. Most people have the accelerator. I have the Turbo. I prefer that action. It's just a clean single action all the way from the rested position to the end of the stroke. There's no bump in the acceleration. It's really, really cool. I really like the way it feels. It really feels solid. And then I've got a Vic kick beater on there, and also Vic Firth they're X55Bs. So they're like a 5B, but they're a little longer, a little thicker. Kind of on the way to a 2B, but not quite that big. And then the new drum heads that I put on the kit are the Controlled Sound Coated Emperor, which not a lot of people have tried that before. It's a Emperor head with a black dot on it, which they're not easy to find. I got them when I was still working at D-Drum, so I was lucky to be able to have a contact with the guys at Remo to get a hold of a couple of them, but they are really hard to find otherwise. Occasionally we'll come across one in the store. On the toms, I've got Vintage Emperor coated, and on the bottom is Ambassador coated. That's the same with the floor toms as well. And then on the bass drum is the Power Stroke CS Black Dot coated. When I have a tendency to get OCD about stuff like if I'm going to have coated heads on the toms, on the drums, I want to have it on all the drums. Not quite like that with clear, because I'll go clear on everything except for the snare drum. But I usually have a tendency to kind of go down that rabbit hole to where if I'm going to do coated heads on the toms and the snare, if I can do one on the kick drum, I will too. I just dig coated heads. I think they're classic. I really dig the way they sound. But so that is my kit as of right now. That is what I am working with. And it is a great sounding set of drums. Real big, classic sounding set of drums.